All right. Welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to talk about everything in terms of professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside of the ring. We also talk about superstar news and injury updates, promotional news from the NWA to AEW. If it makes major wrestling headline news, we talk about it here on the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast. So, yeah, let's go and dig on into our fifth and final segment. Something that we do every Tuesday. I jump into my wrestling DeLorean, take you guys along for the ride, and give you my Tuesdays today in wrestling history. All right, so let's talk about it. Let's go ahead and talk about it. All right, so it is, what is it, September 3rd? September 3rd. Um, let's go ahead and talk about what happened today on today's and today in wrestling history. In 1984, in the World Classic Championship Wrestling, the Fabulous Freebirds of Michael Hayes, Terry Gordy, and Buddy Roberts lost the WCCW Six-Man Tag Team Championship in an elimination handicap match to Kerry and Kevin Von Erich. Well, which is kind of crazy because you saw TNA, no, not TNA. You saw Ring of Honor, you saw AEW kind of adopt a lot of these championships that were kind of forgotten. Like you saw ECW's the FTW championship make its way to AEW, the six-man championship make its way to Ring of Honor. And why couldn't WWE have this six-man championship or the triple man championship? It would have been so great for the future of WWE. A lot of superstars, where you have factions that included more than two guys, it could have been successful. Could have been successful. Noted that it could have taken away prestigious from the tag team division, but that's why you have some of those superstars on there. And then like WWE on Raw and SmackDown, you just have loads and loads of talent that could be featured on shows. You don't have to have mindless and pointless matches. And I'm not trying to hate on it, I swear to God, but you don't have to see Michin take on Nia Jax for the WWE Women's Championship, although it was pretty good in the street fight. But overall, we all knew that Nia Jax was going to win. Like, just imagine if you had, a six-man championship in the men or women's division, although it would mean a lot, maybe have it defended across, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. That'd be pretty badass. I feel like, I love that. But there are a lot of pointless matches that does happen. Like, with this feud between Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman, I'm not really into it. Not really into it. This whole, Pure Fusion Collective. And also, you have this thing with Sheamus and Pete Dunne, and it seems like nothing's being solved. Imagine having like a six-man, 3-on-3 championship match. I feel like it'd be great. I feel like it'd be very great. And obviously, the match was a handicap match, but because the third Von Erich brother, Mike, was injured either on the card in a match with Gino Hernandez, Kerry was eliminated first before Kevin beat a 3-on-1 odds to sweep all three birds and a win in the match. The match was also a loser leaves town match and served as a write-off of the Freebirds who moved to the WWF for a short stint. The Fabulous Freebirds, definitely when people think about iconic tag teams, they're in the mix. They're in the mix. Obviously, a name that stands out. All of them do, by the way. But Michael Hayes. Michael Hayes is a huge, he's a trainer of WWE, part of the creative team, part of the promotional team. He was also, he did commentary for a little bit, especially during the early WWE 1990s, I want to say 1995, 1996. And he was a good announcer. I kind of compare him and the new announcer on WWE Monday Night Raw who joined Wade Barrett, Joe Tesla or something like that. I kind of, his approach kind of sounded like the Michael Hayes approach. And I thought it was pretty great. I thought it was overall, pretty damn great. All right, next we have Sting. Sting, look at Sting. Tony Schiavone, my man. We had Sting, and I do not know why this is not working. Sorry, guys. Gotta love technology. Gotta love technology when it decides not to work and makes you look like a complete idiot. Let's reload the page. All right. So, just to talk about the internet. Let's go to talk about the internet. But I think it was King Yuta. King Yuta, I don't want to say it was 1971 because I could be wrong because my notes aren't popping up. In 19, wherever, Sting lost a match to King Yuta, which was huge because Sting was like this up and comer young superstar that a lot of people thought eventually will be, kind of like this new guy. And he was. Sting was able to kind of, come up from the shadows in terms of WCW, from the NWA. He was big in the NWA. Oh my God, when he made his debut in WCW, it was huge. It was good for WCW. A lot of the NWA stars that do so damn well within the promotion and then end up, kind of faltering to the side. Like nowadays, you see that. Back then, the NWA was kind of like a steeple of wrestling's future. It was kind of like the NXT of wrestling. I got to be honest. A lot of superstars did move on to WWF. I think it was the WWF, and then the Jim Crockett Promotions, which eventually became WCW. So I don't know. Overall, it was kind of crazy to see Sting lose that match. And yeah, next we had Mustache Mountain winning at the I think it was Carcana championship match, which you saw all these superstars kind of become prominent within WWE. Obviously, huge stepping stone for either one of these guys. Pete Dunne, you kind of noticed Tyler Bates. I honestly thought when Bates New Catch Republic, I thought it was I thought it was new. I thought it was a new Catch Republic, but I guess overall, it just wasn't meant to be. You know, injuries, plague, that's what caused Pete Dunne to kind of come over. I thought overall WWE SmackDown was kind of grooming them up to be the new tag team champions. Obviously, that wasn't the case. And Pete Dunne is I love Pete Dunne, the bruiserweight. But now it just doesn't really work out. It just doesn't really work out. All right, yeah, here we go. The House Strong style, known as Mustache Mountain, and consisting of Pete Dunne, Tyler Bates, and Trent Seven. Obviously, you kind of have Trent Seven right now, Mustache Mountain, or Speedball Mike Bailey, or Speedball Mountain on TNA. So they're doing their thing up there. Won the Chikara King of Trios tournament by defeating the House of Sudai girls, Cassandra the tournament. Final, that's kind of crazy, but overall, let's just move on. All right, so in 2018, damn it, why is it doing this to me? In 2018, you saw you saw damn it, who was the other tag team? Oh, I hate it so much. Oh, technology, I love you, but I hate you at the same time. But anyways, you saw Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas lose their tag team championships on Raw to Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, I believe. I think it was. Don't want to. There we go. Damn it! Why does it keep doing that? On an episode of Monday Night Raw, and kind of I thought that this put the nail in the coffin for Curtis Axel's career. Obviously, I think he's the son of Mr. Perfect. And then Bo Dallas, Barry Windham, also, Bray Wyatt. And second generation superstars, proving that they were all that. Obviously, the Miz's hitmen, obviously, they're his goons. Just wasn't good enough to kind of, achieve status quo in WWE. I absolutely thought they were dead in the water. I don't see Curtis Axel anywhere in terms of professional wrestling. So obviously, Bo Dallas is getting a second chance, trying to reincarnate what his brother ultimately wanted created in WWE. This horror movie, kind of, Uncle Howdy, Cabin. What is it? Cabin in the Woods or False Cabin or whatever the hell that scary movie was back in the old days. Long Cabin, damn it. I can't think of it right now. But overall, it was, it kind of sucked. It kind of sucked to be Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. WWE talent wasted once again. But yeah. All right. So overall, hope you guys liked my Tuesdays today in wrestling history. A couple of birthdays today. We have Nick Gulas, also Hannah Kamira, which is kind of crazy, kind of cool. And yeah, gotta love technology, how it totally loves to just screw you in the face once when you need it. Oh God. All right, so I got definitely got to wrap this up. I got my boy Emran's GSMC Soccer Podcast happening in about 13 minutes. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But anyways, guys, that's all the show I got for you today. Thank you so much for tuning into the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time. Here to talk about everything in terms of professional wrestling. Once again, of course, Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show, follow the network. Also follow us on Twitter/X, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook for more content and updates. And like I always say, if I had not made you a wrestling fan by now, we also got football right around the corner. The NFL starts on Thursday with the Baltimore Ravens visiting the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium on Thursday night football on NBC. Also Friday we have a football bout. We also have a load of matches on Sunday. Monday Night Football with the Jets. Can Aaron Rodgers finally complete an offensive series without getting injured against the dynamic, dominant San Francisco 49ers front rush? My man Kenneth is on the GSMC Football Podcast. He covers all of that. Manny with the Chip Shot Football Podcast. We also got my boy Tommy with college football. NFL is your thing, but also you dabble in college football on Saturdays. It's cool. It's cool. I got to be honest. I've kind of jumped on to that Texas Longhorns bandwagon. They did pretty good against Colorado State, defeated them 52-0. But is that a fluke? Not saying it is. Not saying it isn't. Not saying, but I'm just saying. We got my boy Nelson with the GSMC Basketball Podcast, Chris Shepard with the GSMC Fantasy Sports Podcast. Find out all your stardoms, your situms, who to trade or, who to pick up during the off season or during the on season. Sorry. What if somebody gets injured? Find out your sleepers. Find out exactly how you could stay on top of your fantasy league and become the person who wins, but most importantly, the person with the biggest bragging rights. We also have, my boy Emran, GSMC Pop Soccer Podcast. We got the GSMC Sports Podcast by my boy TJ, Sports by GSMC by my man Jeremy. And yeah, we just a bunch of podcast guys here that loves to talk about sports. And it's 1,010% free. It's not like ESPN or Fox Sports West. Not that I'm, crapping on any of those guys. It's not throw shade at the competition here. But I'm just kidding. No. Overall, definitely love you guys. Definitely we love and appreciate every single time you guys tune into our shows. I give you the Eric Rodriguez guarantee that if you subscribe, you will never, ever, ever, ever regret doing so because you find out a lot about sports. The one thing that I really honestly love about watching a lot of the podcasts, and I'll kind of keep this brief on the GSMC Sports Network, is because when you watch a lot of ESPN and Fox Sports and all this other, it's just like you see the same. You see the same stories kind of recycled over and over again. Here at the GSMC Sports Network, I feel like we have hotter takes. We have hotter takes because we're fans too. We're sports fans as well. Kind of like, you can join the conversation easily, kind of be more welcome inside the chat, just to kind of feel like, you're part of the mix. And, we love the same thing you guys do with sports. But overall, we talk about things that, a lot of other sports shows that don't talk about that, that are pivotal to fantasy sports, the NFL, the NBA. Also, we used to have a couple other podcasts like the NHL, stuff like that, which will come. So be patient. Much like with the Wyatt Six guys, be patient. Be patient. Patience, young grasshopper. Patience. All right. But moving on once when obviously have an amazing Tuesday night. Hope you guys enjoyed NXT. I'm gonna watch it right now. Can't wait to. Also, stay beautiful, but most importantly, love you.